Something is very wrong with Justin Bieber, and it's unfolding right in front of us. One day, he posts a sweat-soaked mirror selfie, pupils blown wide, a single word hanging beneath the photo. Detoxing. Detoxing from what? Exactly? Weed doesn't make you shake like that. Fans dig up old interviews where Justin admits he started smoking at 12, experimented with lean shrooms and pills before most kids learn algebra. Gay. They connect those dots to a fresh blind item describing a foreign-born A-list singer. Caught lighting up something that rhymes with Seth moments before showtime. Suddenly, the caption feels a lot darker. The tremor in his hand unmistakable. It gets worse. Paparazzi footage surfaces of Justin barefoot in hotel valet lanes, pacing, fists clenched, yelling, "I'm a real dad, a real husband, a real man don't. Test me." The scene echoes Britney Spears' infamous umbrella moment so closely that even casual observers feel déjà vu. Entertainment lawyers whisper that when public meltdowns hit this pitch, California conservatorship petitions can appear overnight, a stamped emergency and granted before the star realizes their signature sealed the deal. That possibility terrifies Justin more than any tabloid headline, because while he rages in public, Hailey Baldwin Bieber retreats into icy silence. Hailey, once attached to Justin's hip, suddenly photographed prowling Melrose alone, wedding ring absent, fingers glued to her phone. Friends confide that she's exhausted from late-night panic attacks, endless brand meetings, and playing nursemaid to a man hovering somewhere between husband and patient. She's juggling a newborn son we rarely see. A skincare empire that demands constant launch cycles, and now the looming specter of her spouse's unraveling. Paparazzi cameras keep catching her at just the right second, eyes read from crying. Lips pressed, thin fueling a fan theory that someone tips. The photogs specifically to frame her as the weary caretaker and Justin as the wild card. After all, that is exactly how the Britney narrative started. Rumor turns wilder when insiders reveal that Justin, unable to sleep, has been calling Britney Spears herself. To him, Britney isn't a meme. She's proof a person can survive the meat grinder of fame and still breathe free air afterward. Their late-night conversations, according to a studio engineer who overheard snippets through a cracked door, are a shared confession booth. Talk of handlers doubling as spouses, managers who weaponize prescriptions for compliance, paparazzi who know every exit door before security does. Britney allegedly warns him that if Hailey or anyone truly wants legal control, they'll manufacture a crisis big enough to convince a judge for his own good. Justin ends the call in tears and smashes a glass water bottle against the studio wall. Then there's the hair. The boy who sold 10 million copies of his debut album, mostly on the strength of that iconic swoop, now studies a receding hairline in every reflective surface. He changes his Instagram handle to Lil Bieber, as though slapping Lil onto his name might rewind the clock. Erase the bald spots, put him back in the carefree YouTube busking era. Instead, it highlights the crisis. Fans screenshot a close crop of flaky scalp and start speculating about hair transplants, steroid cycles, side effects. Justin responds by posting grainy, half-lit photos of himself blowing smoke while a baby monitor glows green in the background. Commenters half pleading, half scolding. "Right, dude? You're 31 and a dad. Grow up." He deletes nothing, and the algorithm keeps the circus spinning. If the hairline triggers insecurity, the sight of Selena Gomez with producer Benny Blanco seems to torch something deeper. Benny isn't just another pop world acquaintance. He's a collaborator who once layered synths under Love Yourself, a supposed friend from the studio trenches. Seeing him with Selena the ex who marked Justin's formative years cracks a psychological fault line. One source claims that after scrolling through a paparazzi set of Selena and Benny holding hands, Justin hurled a vintage Newman mic against the wall, shattering the diaphragm in a burst of gold dust. He stormed out, canceled a writing session, and purged half his Instagram grid. It isn't jealousy over Selena. It's the betrayal that a brother in music is now intertwined with the woman who dominated. Justin's lovelorn diaries. While Justin's feed becomes a real-time documentary of chaos, Hailey focuses on commerce. Roadskin releases a peptide lip tint accompanied by a gleaming waist chain designed to hold the product like jewelry. TikTok instantly nicknames it the Rode Tampon Chain. Stitching side-by-side comparisons to actual tampons, while culture. Critics accuse Hailey of repackaging West African waist beads for profit. Brand reps produce fluffy statements about global inspiration, but the controversy trends higher than sales. Hailey stays silent beyond press-release language. Yet her exhaustion is visible in every candlelit selfie dark circles disguised under $40 concealer. Amid the spectacle, tabloids publish exclusives claiming the Biebers can't wait for baby number 2. Barely 9 months after Hailey suffered a postpartum hemorrhage that nearly sent her back to the ER. Friends roll their eyes. They need therapy, not diapers. Justin's mom, Patty Millette, briefly likes a comment urging them to heal before expanding their family, then unlikes it, but not before fans screenshot the evidence. Meanwhile, the existing child makes sporadic cameo-steen fingers in an Insta story, a stroller glimpsed behind a hedge enough to prove existence, but never enough to silence rumors that nannies do the heavy lifting. Stack medical issues on top of the drama. Chronic Lyme disease diagnosed in 2019 leaves Justin fatigued, foggy, prone to mood swings. Ramsay-Hunt syndrome in 2022 paralyzes half his face mid-tour, forcing cancellations. Treatment means antibiotics, antivirals, steroid spills that can wreck gut flora and mental stability. When anxiety spikes, doctors add benzos. When depression creeps, maybe SSR is. Soon the difference between prescribed relief and chemical bondage blurs. The labyrinth of meds provides a convenient path for any handler to seize control. Miss one pill, you're spiraling. Take 2, you're compliant. It's a script Hollywood has used for decades. Financial clouds lurk, too. Justin sold his song catalog in 2022 for a headline-grabbing $200 million, supposedly severing ties to Scooter Braun. Insiders insist the paperwork only shuffled obligations. Some royalties still trickle through Braun-controlled entities. Performance bonds still hinge on Justin showing up stable and insurable. The label's contract reportedly requires a new full-length album by Q42025. Or he faces a 7-figure penalty. Yet tour insurers balk at covering dates until a doctor declares him mentally fit. Money pressure squeezes mental pressure, which loops back into substance temptation, which invites paparazzi, which drives the narrative toward this man needs guardianship. Once found refuge in church pews, front row at Hillsong, tears cutting tracks through stage makeup as he belted worship tunes. Hillsong's scandal-racked implosion pushed him to Churcham, where Pastor Judah Smith texted Dawn devotional voice notes. Lately, Justin ghosts Sunday services, claiming studio lock-ins, though sources say the studio is dark those mornings. Spiritual vacuum meets pharmaceutical crutch, and the loop tightens. Public sympathy, once endless for teenage prodigy struggles, wears thin. Millennials who chanted Belieber now juggle mortgages and wonder why their childhood. Idle live streams, sweaty rants instead of bedtime stories. Gen Z knows him only as Hailey husband, the moody guy undermining a self-made beauty entrepreneur. TikTok remixes his 2014 deposition, eye roll into a meme soundtrack about male immaturity. Each swipe erodes Brand Bieber a little more. Yet redemption arcs remain on the table. Some advisors beg him to disappear to his Canadian cottage. Paddle. A canoe across glassy water feeds soil under fingernails until the music calls naturally. A soft, acoustic recorder, raw successor to purpose could recast him from tabloid clown to vulnerable survivor. A brutally honest couples therapy docuseries pitched to streaming executives might shatter handler rumors by exposing real, marital work. But these lifelines demand choices Justin hasn't shown he can make while messages from mom, mentors, and label reps sit unread beneath a blur of emoji spam. Every day without a plan nudges him closer to the courthouse. Industry veterans note the blueprint. Leaked tales of uncontrollable behavior, frame the spouse as exhausted, file an emergency petition citing child safety. Judges, still stung by Britney's ordeal, exercise caution, but a high-profile plea featuring a defenseless infant could slide through. If that gavel drops, Justin might wake up unable to sign his own checks, choose his own set list, or even decline a tour his financial conservator deems necessary. And so the clock ticks. Each cryptic caption, each trembling selfie, each ringless appearance by Hailey is another breadcrumb along a trail we're all obsessed with following. The path could lead to redemption, a brisk Canadian dawn, a guitar, a healthier body free from pill fog. But it could also dead-end in a sealed courtroom where signatures hand over his autonomy for his own good. If that day comes, remember the warning Britney murmured in a 3 a.m. phone call? The machine tightens the cage the moment it smells fear. Justin is either inches from freedom or footsteps from a future where every decision, be it haircut, melody, or fatherhood's stamped with someone else's approval. Culture loves a comeback, but it loves a crash even more. Cool. And right now, the world is holding its breath, waiting to see which headline Justin Bieber writes next.